Welcome to the Nordic Mythology podcast. I'm Daniel Farrand under the company Horns of Odin. As always, I do have to start off by plugging our Patreon. I know you're all probably sick of hearing it by now, but I say it every time. It's how we keep the lights on. It's how we depend on keeping this podcast going. So if you do enjoy the show and you want to hear a little bit more content, there's a ton of extra material over there, which includes our Q&A episodes we do with our guests every single week. These are really beneficial. If you like an episode, there's an extra sort of 20-minute 30-minute extra piece that goes alongside the main show where the patrons get to ask questions to our guests. And a lot of the times there's some really good information that me and Mags have missed, some questions that we've just overlooked within the show because, again, you know, all these episodes are recorded off the cuff for better or worse. We don't prepare, we just go with the flow and see what happens. So sometimes we do miss vital questions. So they're normally picked up in the Q&A. So if you like an episode, you can get that. And this all comes from £3 a month, less than buying one of us a cup of coffee every single month. And you also get our story time episodes on there with Claire Muller and Jonas Lorentzen, and they're a lot of fun. You get the whole back catalogue. So please just go check it out. It's Patreon/Nordic Mythology Podcast. And if you can't financially support, then even just a like, share, 5-star rating wherever you get the podcasts. It always helps someone else find the podcast, helps us boost up the rankings and just gets that visibility on us. And, you know, it helps. I think I used to say tickle the algorithm's balls, but I don't think I should say that anymore. So I'm going to avoid that. I say avoid, I've just said it. But if you could proverbially tickle the algorithm's balls, that would be nice and help us get up. But let's jump into today's show. So I'm joined by my lovely in-house archaeologist and co-host, Mags Havgar. Mags, you're going to take the names today because I was too scared.
Yes, I am. Let's see how this goes. No, but I'm genuinely very excited because today we're joined by the founders of the Birka Historical Tattoo Festival, Veronica Björkman and Żaneta Reliszko. Hi, both of you.
Hello. Hi.
Do you want to kind of tell us a little bit about yourselves? Like if we start with Żaneta, just a little bit about like where did this come from? Like what's your background? How did this start?
Okay. So I am a tattooer since 10 years, and I think now even more. So it's around, I'm tattooing since 10 or 11 years. And from the beginning, I was always interested in historical, geometrical, ornamental tattoos. So my background actually is in the old times when I start as a reenactor. So I'm making Viking reenactment, early medieval reenactment since 26 years, if I'm right. So I was taken to my very, very first Viking and Slavic festival by my parents, and this is how it goes. I think the seed was there. And actually, that was the festival on which Veronica was like years ago also, but it wasn't yet time to meet her. So I probably, it wasn't the time when we met.
Wow. So your paths crossed before you became friends, but you didn't know it yet.
Yes. Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, Veronica, okay, what's your background?
Today I work as a destination manager in Birka. I'm responsible of all things that have to do with the visitors. So the museum, the restaurant, the cafe, or reconstructed Viking houses, and guided tours, and the whole program for the things that the tourists met when they come here. Mm-hmm. And I have actually always been very interested in like history, archaeology, and like 2002, I started together with a group, the Viking Festival. And then I started to study in the university, and I need to have a summer job. So I ended up in Birka as a guide, and then I never left the island. So, yeah.
I think I say it pretty much every podcast now, that every podcast is somebody's first podcast. Can you give a quick, really quick overview of kind of what's on Birka and why it's important, I guess? Well, I guess what's there today is just a museum alongside, obviously, because there's such important finds there.
So Birka is today a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And it is this together with Hovgården on the close by island, Adelsö. And it's unique because it's the first town that was built here in middle of Sweden, like 750. And they were a trading town and a craft town. And it was built by the king, and he had his big longhouse at Hovgården. And another thing is that we have the biggest Viking Age burial ground in the world. We have more than 4,000 Viking graves. And
Wow.
yeah.
That is a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a lot. So what I've never had the pleasure of going. What's there today? Is it just a big museum with a lot of the finds?
Mostly actually of the items, the finds from excavations here are in Stockholm at the Historical Museum. So we have like a smaller museum with a lot of replicas and models of the town with 2 different exhibitions. So we have a quite new one that is called Bird at Birka, and it's about 3 graves that we have reconstructed. And we have a nice museum shop, and we have a small part of the actual town that is reconstructed. So there was an excavation in the 1990s, and they excavated 3 plots of the town, and all of the houses there we have reconstructed. So you can go and see how it really looked like.
Wow.
And then, of course, we have guided tours every day on the prehistorical area.
Oh, Max, I just realized we've done 230 something episodes, and we've never done one on Birka yet. So I think we're going to have to sort that out. That's such a hole that we've missed.
I haven't, and honestly, I'm going to be really shitty here and say that I wasn't aware that we hadn't. And if I had been aware, I would have tried to make that happen, because that is a big flip.
Yeah, I'm sure we probably touched on it. We've touched on the female.
On the grave. Soldier grave. Yep.
Yeah. But I don't think we've ever looked at the site as a whole. So that is a complete oversight by us, and
But that's great, because then we have more stuff to talk about. Not that we were running out of anything.
Yeah,
we do. Yeah, it's funny actually. I think I've lost count, but we're 230 something episodes into this, and I still feel like I know nothing, and there's still loads to learn. So there's always more to go at. There's always different opinions and changing things, and wonderful festivals that people are putting on like this. So tell us, let's start with, what is the Birka Historical Tattoo Festival? Let's start with that first and get an overview of what that is. Who wants to take that one?
Actually, I can tell my version.
Sure, yeah.
So Birka Historical Tattoo Fest was born thanks to our meeting on the Midgardsplot. So we met together thanks to our friend, and actually it was like very, very short time when we start to talk together, and we feel something more that at first we are getting in touch so very fast. And actually the biggest dream I had, it was to make a festival, but something more than festival, which can gather tattooers, craftsmen, musicians, some rituals, all the friends we have, and artwork, and which can be connected with archaeology and reenactment. And all of this was actually waiting for the right place and right time, because I was making some smaller events, which was part of the bigger medieval markets. So even now I'm preparing myself for the summer. So it's like maybe one day or two when I left for my 2-month tour on Viking markets and the music festivals, and different combinations between medieval markets and music festivals. So before I tried to make something like that in Poland, because I originally came from Poland. So the bigger festival we had probably in the world of about the Viking Age and about the Slavic times, we have in Volyn, also another big trading center, which was well communicated in Scandinavia in early medieval times. So on this festival, I was successful, and I am still, to make like very, very big Viking tattoo or historical tattoo camp. And this year also it happened. So I will have a guest from Italy. Last year we had guests from Iceland, Hungary, Germany, and so on. But like deep in my heart, I feel that I need some like a completely neutral ground, which where I can make some festival, which will be like a tattoo convention for the historical tattooers by itself. And I always have it in my head, and that was like a big, big dream. And this dream come true when I met Veronica. And we start to talk like very, very quickly what I'm doing in Bore on the Midgardsblot. And actually I was there in that time taking part on a tattoo convention organized by Torola Ihuda. So Veronica was just like, oh, that's so interesting. And we started to talk about it. And just like, it was just maybe 3 minutes when we was just like, okay, let's make a tattoo convention and medieval market in Birka. So that was... And I was just like, no, it's not a joke. It's a joke. It can be true that, you know, you have something inside of yourself, you hold it so long, and then you meet the person. And now it's just like, okay, no problem, let's do it. And I couldn't believe, because Veronica said, okay, let's meet in Tuesday after the Midgardsblot. And we came for you by the motorboat. And I was just like, what? Motorboat? And because Birka, it's an island. So so you have to go through the water there. And finally, there was this Tuesday. And I came to the island, and I completely fall in love in the island, in all the vibe and everything I seen there. Because Birka, it's like one of the most important places for probably every person who is making early medieval or Viking reenactment. So if you make your reenactment, sooner or later you will base on archaeological findings from Birka, because it's so a lot of art and jewelry and items founded there that everybody hear about Birka, but not that many people actually was in Birka. So we are also super happy that we can promote this place through our artists from like different countries of the world, because this year it was around 35 tattooers from more of like 20 countries of the world. So we are super happy to have all of them there. So, and also it's like amazing that both like independent, powerful women can do something together, and we always smoothly go with our ideas, and it's just incredible how amazing it is.
That's wonderful. Yeah. Because I completely understand what you mean about like having something that's so dear to your heart, and then when it suddenly seems to be just be working out, you kind of sit there with the feeling like, is this too good to be true? Is this actually happening?
Yeah,
and that's so
especially
cool. Yeah.
especially such an important site. I can't think of a better site to do it for somebody. You know, you've held this idea for so long, and then the opportunity comes across to do it on such an important place that it adds to the festival, because anybody who's been to Midgardsport gets that same feeling of the surroundings and the grounds and the burial mounds. It adds to the atmosphere of being there, and I imagine that's exactly the same thing with the Birka Historical Tattoo Festival, because it's such rich history and you can just feel it throughout. So that had to be quite surreal, because I can't think of anywhere you could have got that was better.
No, it's perfect, and we are so happy about it.
Mm-hmm. So what made you be so quick to be like, yeah, let's do it. Let's just go with it. I'm interested. Was this something had there been ideas within Birka to maybe put on a festival before, Veronica, or was it just you heard Żaneta pitch this and you just were like, yeah, absolutely, or was it something maybe that there'd been thoughts of?
We have a lot of different kinds of visitors. It's we have like, I think 60% is from Scandinavia and 40% are international from all over the world. And it's all from babies to really, really old people, and it's a lot of families that is coming. But like the last 8 year or something, I have seen that we have a new kind of visitors. And I think it's all come after the TV shows, the Vikings, when these bands like Vardruna or Heilung, they become more and more famous, and it grows up like a new subculture of people. Yeah, you or all of you well aware of that. And I saw that they were coming here, and they have this special clothing and haircuts and tattoos, and they were very, very interested, and they have a lot of questions, and they really love everything. And I always work that we will have program that fits for all kind of visitors we have, from small children to old people and everybody in the middle. So when I went to visit Midgårdsblot for the first time, I like feel that, wow, this is so amazing. It's so good vibe here. All people are so friendly and you respect each other. It doesn't matter how you look or so. And I have always think that tattoos are very beautiful, and there are a lot of like interesting things around the tattoo with the art and everything. And I haven't actually, like before I met Żaneta, think so much about to have just like a big tattoo convention. But I was thinking to have a festival or something that was attractive to all these people in the new subculture. And then when I met Żaneta, I was just, wow, this is the thing. Like, of course, we should do a tattoo convention and mix it with reenactment and workshop and archaeology and culture and everything, like a big mix. And so it was like she came when I was like asking the universe that I want to do this, and then she was there with all
perfect
her
timing.
Yeah, and all her ideas. Żaneta has so much bright ideas, and like, this is perfect.
It's a perfect match.
Yes.
Yeah. Good for you both to recognize the opportunity and see it, because a lot of people will have opportunities like this come and they won't do it. They won't take the risk. They'll be too scared or maybe don't believe in themselves enough. So full credit for just going, you know what, this is an opportunity. Let's do it and see what happens. Because I imagine neither of you had put on pronunciation of your name. Sorry, is it Żaneta?
Żaneta.
Żaneta?
Yes.
Okay. Because I didn't want to just keep calling you Żaneta because it's
fine.
It felt lazy. Obviously you mentioned you put on some festivals before, but is this the biggest one that you tackled?
I tried to help my friends years ago to organize some tattoo meeting, but COVID came and it haven't chance to bloom like that. But in that time, I learned so a lot, and actually, like, you know, there are some turning points. So one of the turning points was again in Wolin, so on this the biggest market in Poland. So before I could travel that much, like I am allowed now, or happy to travel that much now, Wolin was like my window to the world, because a lot of people from different countries came there. And since Kai from Heilung came there for the first time, I think he was tattooed there twice. So he actually put the seed that I saw that you can connect the reenactment with the tattoos. And you can tattoo not only in a studio, but you can tattoo outdoor in the nature. And it's completely different type of tattooing. And you can be even closer to the archaeological artifacts. You can be even closer to the history, because all the customers are bringing you so many amazing ideas and so many references as artifacts which they bring that sometimes I didn't even knew about them. So I all the time educate myself thanks to all the ideas which people bring to me. So in Wolin, they're just like I start tattoo. Of course, the Kai was the inspiration. So like the next year after I saw how he was tattooing in Wolin, I slowly start to tattoo using non-electrical methods, which I completely fall in love in the process. And this actually was, again, my window to the world and to kind of freedom I have now. And then when I start to create my own, at the beginning, small tattoo camp in Wolin, all the tattooers came to me and just like, oh, sorry, maybe you have a little bit of the ink to borrow, or maybe you have like something which they forget. But that was kind of way how all of us, we slowly meet together. And then we found like, okay, so let's and we was like kind of shy at the beginning. So let's eat the supper at the evening. Okay, let's go party. Let's tattoo each other. And we just like met more and more people, and our camp attracts more and more tattooers. And through the years, it grows. So I think in 2 days, it will be like around, 16 tattooers in Wolin, which are probably now on the way to the festival, the same like me. I'm just like packing myself. So out of the scene, it's a lot of tattoo boxes, and which I have to pack today or tomorrow to my car and go. So in Wolin, I found like people really want to gather that because like this historical and non-electrical tattoos are super rare. They like you have like here in my region for the next tattooer, it's like 300 kilometers So I am here in the region alone. So the next one in the same field I love the most in this Baltic style. The next one it's Edgaras, who is in Kaunas in Lithuania. So it's like the density of the tattooers, it's like not that big. So any opportunity to meet somebody who have the same interest, it makes that we all can grow, because we are observing the techniques, we exchange the knowledge, and we can just grow together. And one of the very interesting meetings was, I think now, for me, for the first time 4 years ago, when Colin told me about the convention. Like it was, I think, one of the very, very first tattoo conventions for the only historical tattooers. And it was Ink and Needle in Gotland. And Gotland is organized by Lars, Tone, and Elias. So they have like, I think 6 or 7 historical tattooers, like including Colin Dale, Lars Martinen, I think Trine Ellefolk, Drew, and I think it was me. If I forget about somebody, I'm sorry. So when I came there for the first time, we was just like, wow, it's like 6 or 7 of us. And we was just like, we couldn't stop to talk. We couldn't stop to observe how we tattoo. We couldn't stop just like exchange the tips about the tattoos and insights of our personal techniques we evolve. So it was just amazing, because like there is this experimental archaeology aspect, or even scientific aspect, because you can find the tattoo tool, but not till actually the tattoo tool is making the tattoo, but actually the whole technique is making the tattoo. So we found, like, each of us, we tattoo completely different way by the same tool, which was so extremely interesting. And then we just like start to go around between the stations and look what each person was doing. And we was sharing our just like life experience with the non-electrical tattoos. Especially like exchanging the knowledge with Colin, it's extremely amazing, because he was this experimental archaeology aspect. In his case, it's like very, very rich, because together with the Lars Krutak, he took part in some like many publications about the ancient ink, and he was using, I think, all of the non-electrical methods, from like sewing, like Inuits was sewing tattoos. So it's not only the needle which is making tattoo, but also you can have flintstones, you can have volcanic glass, you can have thorns or bones, or like rocks, anything. Just like anything which make like tiny damage in the skin and just like deposit ink in the skin. So it's completely amazing subject, and you can just like exchange the knowledge about it. Like it's endless. Yeah, I bet. I've got a few directions I want to go, actually. What would class as like an historical tattooist, or what would like qualify somebody? Is it just that there's no electricity, or does it have to be based on a certain like historical technique? Or are there any criteria that would allow people to come? That's a very good question. So I think there will be few criteria. So like I can based on tattooers which we are selecting every year to take part in Birka Historical Tattoo Fest. So at first there are the people, actually, okay, they are legends. They are just legendary tattooers, because all of them they create some very, very rich history by itself. So they are experts in, let's say, some region they live. So they develop their own techniques, their own tattoo style. And like when you develop your own tattoo style, it's just like you create your own language you speak with.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like very, very visible when we see tattoos from some of us, we visibly know that was this person. So it's like your style, it's your signature. So probably
who gets into the legendary
of
stairs?
Course. Yeah, Colin Dale, of course. He is absolute legend. And Colin Dale, I call always like our dad, because he is tattooing, I think, more than 25 years. And he was the first who started to use the term, I think him and Kai, they will start to use as a first term Neo-Nordic. So I think before there was, of course, their masters who was trying to tattoo without the electricity. But for me, they are like, the new generation of the tattooers who actually allow to develop all of this, what we are doing now. So I think it's the main base and the greatest inspiration for all of us.
Mm-hmm. So is there no machine tattooing in the festival? Is it just for people listening? I assume it's just like a stick and poke style, or would it be like or is it all types? Would you have like you say more like a little comb type thing that you hit with a stick? Because the only types I've ever had is the little stick and poke ones.
We actually allow on our festival, the first idea was to gather non-electrical tattooers. But, and actually at the beginning we thought like, maybe we can just like invite maybe 5 tattooers and let's see, will it work? But then when I just like spread the information in our circle that there's an idea to make the convention with Veronica in Birka, they're just like, people was just like, yeah, I'm in, and I'm in. And then when I confirmed this, Veronica was just like, okay, 5 will be fine. It will be good. And then I have to back to her and say like, we have 22. And she was just like, what? And I was just like, we can do it. All will be good. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So for the next year, it was, I have to back again, and it cost me a lot of stress because it was just, again, it was around 35 tattooers. And then I was just like, oh my God, I have to tell to her that it's even more of them, bringing the family, friends, partners, and all the customers to the island. So this year, the whole festival was more than double and a half. But I went off top where I came to these thoughts. The question was about the techniques. So yes, we so the festival grows, and I found like, okay, so don't make limit only to the hand poke tattooers. Electrical tattooers are also okay because there's like a lot of amazing tattoo artists, and I thought like, okay, it could be like sad if we do not allow them to come because they are super talented, they are amazing, they work only with the machine. Okay, we take those too. So this year it was possible to get a tattoo done by hand poke. So like we have this like hand poked tattoos, but we also have this hand tapped, and we have a guest who came from really far away, and it was Durga, who came for our festival together with his friend Cliff. They came from Indonesia and from Malaysia. Wow. So it was amazing.
Wow, I would love that.
And Durga was presenting the traditional Mentawai hand tap tattoos. So I'm super lucky to have one piece of art from him. And this technique is insane. So hand poke, it's just like very peaceful, quiet, kind of relaxing method. If it's not that super painful spot, a lot of my customers just fall asleep. But hand tapping is super trippy. And this sound, I don't know, my experience with a hand poke, it's super trippy. And this technique just allow you to fly around somewhere in your thoughts. And it's just like so amazing. But also in this technique, there is more people involved in. So it's not only tattooer and the customer. Sometimes it's one or even two stretchers, because the hands of the tattooer are holding the two tools. So there is a need of the person who is stretching the skin and clean the skin. And actually in Polynesian tattoos, they call that they take the pain away. So you have also another supportive person in this process. And also Theo was making solar branding, which I saw for the very first time in my life. And it was such a big success that when I post the reel on our Instagram, this reel beats in like 3 days, nearly 1.5 million views.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Can you describe what solar branding is?
So it's more like, not like a tattoo, it's more like a scarification. So the skin damage, let's say damage, I don't know, did I say it right? But let's say skin damage, the skin is opened by the lens, and through his tests, he was using different lenses. But in Birka, he was using that size big crystal lens. So because we was in Scandinavia, the boys was waiting between one and a second cloud to sun came out. So it was kind of cool experience, because okay, in Spain or I don't know, any warm country, it will be just like a deep sunburn. But we was in Sweden, so we was waiting until the clouds go away. And then he was checking, did it burns on a wooden stick? And then he was following the design he drew straight on the skin. So I saw the process, and it was like really amazing. It was quick and not that painful like it sounds. And few days, maybe a week ago, I saw the final healed result, which result as a really nice scar in the skin. So it was like, I think, big success in this time.
I've never heard of that before.
Me neither.
No,
Me too.
never.
That's so fascinating.
Yeah. Just reminds me, yeah, I guess it works similar to the magnifying glass.
Yes.
Just that same type of thing. Wow. Yeah, I'm interested though.
It's
I'm
completely out of this world.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely interested. So Veronica, how does it work logistically when Żaneta comes with 35 tattooists and you now have to find somewhere for them all to go, I guess? And are there restrictions when it comes to putting on a tattoo festival? Obviously, like when it comes to like hygiene and all that kind of stuff, I assume there is some sort of there's a level of health and safety you have to adhere to.
Yes, first I have to like say that the first year I was a little bit scared, not because arranging the event or do it, because I was a little bit scared that people will slap my fingers, because tattoos is not like, they are not actually proofs from Viking age, and there's a lot of discussions. Did they have tattoos or did they not? And you have written sources and you have tools, but you haven't found any skin from Viking age. And did Ibn Fadlan, did he describe tattoos or did he describe body paintings? And So there are a lot of things. So I was thinking, oh no, maybe I will have some problems around this. But it actually went totally opposite. So other museums, Viking Age museums, start to have tattoo evenings or themes or so it's I'm so happy because it's like spread instead, and more museums and universities and things like make their own events. So that is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But then I had to, of course, get permission from the municipal of Ekerö, where Birka is located in, like I don't know, health department there.
Yeah.
So they come to visit here, and we have to send in a lot of papers and everything. But it went well, really well. And then there is this logistic things when you are on an island.
Yeah.
So it's not so easy to get like 200. I think there were more than 200 participants that was here all this event this year to get them here on the island. So first year we were driving with our small boats, and my husband, he was going back and forward with people.
That was crazy.
So is there
for 4 days. So this
Just-
year we rented a car ferry.
Okay, I was going to say just to jump in and show my ignorance. How big is the island? And is there, 'cause I guess I just assumed that there would be roads there with cars there, and you would have a little ferry that brings people over. Maybe not like a huge ferry, but like a decent sized little one that everyone could jump on and come across. Not actual, just little pedal boats.
Yeah, the island is quite small, and there are no cars here at all. There is like some tractor and some like 4-wheel drivers and mopeds. And there are ferries coming here with tourists, like from Stockholm, and doing high seasons we have from other towns around this lake. But we don't have any car ferries. And the island is like 4.5 kilometer long and 1.5 kilometer wide. So it's a quite small island.
Yeah,
And today there's only 9 people that is living on the island all year round.
well, I didn't realize it was so small. That's
Yes, it is.
That's lovely. Do
That was
you live
actually
there?
smaller than I expected. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you live on the island?
Yes, I do.
Wow, that has to be.
That sounds so idyllic.
Yeah. That has to be lovely. No cars, a tractor. That's that's wonderful. How did you end up living on? Is it because you from working at the museum?
Yes, some of it. I've been working here really long. I started to work here like 2008, I think. But I have only lived here during the summer season. And we have like crew houses for people that is working here. But 4.5 years ago, my husband get the opportunity to start to work on the island as a handyman, and he take care of the houses and the gardening and things like that. And he worked for the government. So when he started work for the government, we got the opportunity to rent a house on the island, because otherwise it's very, very hard to find houses here to live, like modern houses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so jealous. That's just that must be wonderful. Just the peace that you get.
I mean, that made my imagination go wild because right now I am at my family summer cabin, which is also on a small island but it's in the Oslo fjord, but it's 4 square kilometers, and you can only access it by boat. There's a ferry that goes reasonably often, but it's not a car ferry. You're not allowed to have cars here, only a couple of tractors. And I'm just like, I usually spend everything from 2 weeks to 2 months here a year. And I'm just imagining living here year round. And it must be just, I mean, I guess it must be kind of a hassle if you're only 9 people in terms of like getting stuff, but at the same time, it must also be a different kind of peace.
Yes, it is. It's so peaceful. And the thing with this island is that it is very on-off. So before the boats with the tourists come, it's like so quiet, and it's just the wildlife with all the birds and the animals and the nature and then the lake and everything. And then boom, it says, and then there come a lot of boats, and it just come out a lot of people, and they could be like 500-600 people per day during high season here.
So I guess it does have its chaotic times, even though it's such an idyllic place.
Yes, and it's a lot of people everywhere, and they are so happy, and there are guided tours, and there are things happen, and we have program and different old programs and stuff. And then 5 o'clock in the evening, all the boats leaves, and they are quiet again.
Wow.
And we have the season is open from the beginning of May until the end of October, and then we close. Because during winter time there's almost often ice on the lake, so the boats can't come here.
What? We've gone completely off topic, but I'm fascinated by this. What's that like? Just on an evening, or when it's frozen and you are completely, I guess, isolated there. Because I live in Yorkshire. It's somewhat rural, but nothing like that. And even, I can be relatively in the middle of nowhere in 10-15 minutes, but there's also the comfort of that I can walk up the road and there's a co-op. And I can go and get what I need. Whereas I imagine there isn't that luxury when you live on such a small island. There's not going to be a local shop.
No, we don't. And we really need to plan, of course. So we have to go by boat first to our cars. That is on another island. And then from there, from that island, we can go with car ferry to the mainland. And it's quite far to big shops, and if we want like a pharmacy or something, it's like 40 minutes drive.
Oh, I bet that's so good for your memory though, because I'm terrible for going to the shop and being like, as soon as I get home, the one thing I went for, I've forgotten, and I've come back with all this stuff that I don't need. So I imagine that you can't be like that.
No, you need to make lists and plan, of course, and it, like during summertime or spring or autumn, it's no problem because you can jump in the boat and you can go if you need. But during winter time, especially in the beginning of the winter and the end of the winter, it can be quite problematic because when the ice is too thin to walk on or too thick to drive the boats. So like this spring, it was like 1 week that we was like stuck on the island. We couldn't go.
Wow. So you have to have a stockpile.
Yes, we have to have a lot of cans with food in the and things like so we have but it was just 1 week, and then it was open, the water was open, and then we can go by boat.
It must be great for stopping midnight snacks. Because I'm a sucker for being like,
no, especially
I'm terrible for if say I'm sharing the bed with someone and it's late at night and we're watching TV and I'm all cuddled up. I'm bad for being like, I want some chocolate now and I want to go to the shop and get some chocolate. Whereas you can't do that. You just gotta deal with it. Whereas for me, I'm like, oh, I know the shop's only around the corner. I can go get some chocolate and be back in 10 minutes.
Yes.
So, that's
No pizza delivery, right?
no pizza delivery. Yeah,
I'm
no
waiting. I'm
wow.
waiting for Fodora to start doing it by drones.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but the thing is though, like it it would be it would probably be great to a degree because if you ever needed something like in an emergency, it would be wonderful. But also then you could also just fall into a trap of just having things dropped there all the time and it almost maybe spoiling
Yeah.
the joy of it.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. I didn't
Yeah.
expect this. I didn't expect this conversation, but I love it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. And it's
it's
really
so
nice, I actually, to during the winter to walk on the ice over.
I would be terrified.
Or
I would
ice
be
skis.
Or
oh,
skiing. Yeah.
Yeah.
mhm.
Even the
Oh,
Viking skis, because there was founded a lot of Viking skis in Birka,
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
made of animal bones. Actually, you have those in the museum in York, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. They have it there too.
Mhm. Oh wow. What okay, last question on you living on the island.
Yeah.
What's what's it like on an evening when, especially maybe in the dead of winter, living somewhere that is so historically charged, that has such a depth, historical importance to it? Do you, I don't know whether you're a particularly spiritual person, but do you have those moments? Are you able to wander out and kind of be with the nature? And does it, do you have, because I imagine not many people get this opportunity. You like, I guess the closest I've ever had to was a Midgardsplat and getting to go sit on the mounds in the middle of the night when there's nobody else around. That you kind of get that closest, but you're still in a built-up area where it's very unique for you. You really are alone there, and I'd love to know how that is.
Yeah. It's really amazing. Actually, I live on a Björk ground. We have Viking age Björk mounds in our garden, and
It just gets better, doesn't it? You're just showing off now.
yes, and we have a lot of graves around everywhere. And the thing is that all the seasons are so much clearer here, because when you are in the town, you don't really see the changing in nature and that things the same as you do here. And we have a lot of animals, birds, wild animals, and when you go out like in the late in the autumn or during the winter, and I have dogs, I often walk the dogs on the area. It feels like I am protected or something, like
Oh wow.
people are looking after me, but there's nobody there. And I have walked alone so many times on this island with 4,000 graves, and I have never been scared,
Oh, I love
because
that. Yeah.
it feels like there are like energies around, and they like take care of me and protect me.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really, yeah, I really like that, and I can imagine that's such a lovely feeling to have that.
yeah, and it's also such a fascinating contrast with the amount of graves, 4,000, like you said, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
know that time span likely is like they're from a 250 year period, but at the
Yeah.
same time, there being 4,000 graves there, and currently there are 9 people living
Yeah,
on the
that's
island in town. That's a big contrast.
Yes.
so. Do we know are those graves from people who lived on the island, or were people? Is it possible that people were brought to the island as a burial place? Maybe this is go on. Sorry.
Yeah, probably both.
Wow. So
So
it clearly had some importance.
yes, because it's a lot of graves, and I
Mhm.
was counting some time that must have been like 2.5 grave every month during the existence of the town. So it was like a very big industry on the island just to build all these graves. And so there must have been a lot of people just working with it
Mhm.
because they have moved a lot of big rocks and a lot of amount of soil and things.
So
Mhm.
are all the burials? I'm sorry, this is also not on like not super on topic, but at the same time, it is relevant to the festival because this is setting. But are
Mhm.
all the burials in mounds?
Not all, we have a lot of different graves. There are a lot of mounds, but we also have chamber graves and
Yep.
Christian chest graves from the Viking Age. Uh, we have like stone shaped, vad heter det, boat shaped stone settings and four-sided stone settings and round and three-sided, and so there are a lot of different kind, and we also have some Bronze Age graves on the island too.
It almost sounds to me like, okay, this is a joke. I'm just going to preface what I'm going to say with this, but it almost sounds like a pamphlet for pick your burial Viking Age editions. Like here are all these different types of burials you can have. You
Yeah.
have camber graves, we have
Mhm.
coffins. Those are from some other people. You can still get them, and we have mounds.
Yes, we have it, everything. And
Actually,
there are,
I wish I could be buried there.
me too.
I was wondering if that was still a possibility, whether they were. I didn't want to get too morbid because there's only 9 people living on the island, so I didn't want to ask whether if anything happened to anybody. I didn't I didn't want to kind of go there, but since Żaneta brought it up, I'll ask the question: is it possible for anybody still to be buried
I
there? Like
don't
if
No, they are not a graveyard here. We have a small chapel, uh, but there is no graveyard. So the graveyard is on the closest island. But there are some people that have their ash spread here.
okay, yeah, okay.
So you can like ask the government or some, I don't know, if you have the permission to spread the ashes.
Mhm.
So we have had like 2 ceremonies here when people wanted to go and be spread in the water.
Oh,
So,
what a wonderful place. And
Mhm.
I I think this conversation is super important because it makes people, anybody listening to this is now going to be like I am, thinking really want to go to Birka, and what a better time to go when I can get a really cool tattoo.
yeah.
Mhm.
So there we go. So, when it comes to attending, can you just attend? Do you have to pre-book? Do you have to have a session booked with a tattooist to come? How does that work?
Actually, it works many different ways. There are tattooers who are like fully booked like for the next few years, and it's really hard to get sessions from them. And then they came to Birka and they have the open booking for that time, which is let's say in some cases like super rare to get the appointment with the tattooer. So then if you get your appointment, you are super lucky. But also there is opportunity for some walk-ins. So there was like you can pre-book your session with the like direct tattooer, or you can just like came and get a tattoo just like completely spontaneously.
Mhm. Oh, I'd be such a kid in a candy shop
Oh
because
yes.
I
because
mean, I want to go now, but I would come home broke and just covered. Not that that's a bad thing, but
mhm.
that would
But
be quite the upkeep for the first
we
2 months after that festival.
yeah
Yes.
we've had a bunch of the tattooists on the podcast before you started co-hosting, Mags. We've had loads of them on. A lot of them I'd consider friends, and I think if I was there, I would just end up uh even more covered. The little bit of space that I have left, I would have, because I like to try and collect things from different tattooists, especially in this field. So
The same
it
with
would,
me.
It
yeah, it
became
would be.
addictive.
Mhm.
No, it is. No, but it is.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
time I get a new tattoo, I'm like, what's the next one? When?
Yeah.
When,
No.
when and where,
Who will
yeah.
do it? Yeah.
I know. I actually, I actually left Sean Parry a voice note earlier saying, "It's been too long since you tattooed me. When can we get this sorted? Because I have two unfinished. I have my stomach
Oh,
piece
wow.
and my leg that we need to finish off. And it's been a while since I've seen him. And so I messaged him earlier and was like, can we please just squeeze me in somewhere? I'm missing. Because I get that urge every so often. Like I'll go 6 months and not have a tattoo, and then suddenly I'll be like, I need tattoos now. And I'll be like, cover a bunch of area and go, okay, now I need to stop. I'm covering too quick.
No, never too quick, never too much. Actually, Veronica was super lucky to have a beautiful tattoo session with Sean on the festival.
Yes.
You
Yes.
did?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm so happy, and he started a tattoo from the Oseberg tapestry.
Oh, nice.
So I make
Which one?
Oseberg.
What kind? I'm
Well-
currently writing my PhD on the Oseberg tapestries, so
Oh,
I am
wow.
very interested.
I was about to say you're asking the right person.
Yes. I don't really know how to call it, but it's this procession walk with the horses and all the people that is walking in line.
With the wagons and stuff.
Yes, so we are half done. So the wagon is the next, but we have all this little cute guy with the horns walking in the beginning, and the ladies with the ravens and everything.
Nice.
It turns
Yeah.
really epic. It turns
Yes.
really, really epic.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the thing is also that even if you don't want to do a tattoo, there's a lot of things to do during the tattoo fest, because we have
Okay.
Viking market with the really good craftsmen that was coming from all over Europe with their replicas of things. We
nice.
have a lot of workshops. So this year it was like workshop all the day in different topics. And this year we have a lot about Viking clothes. So it was like plant dyeing, needle binding, tablet weaving, posament.
Yeah.
But then we also have things about the vulva's role in the society, and the herbs, and throat singing, and so
Icelandic
the list is,
tapes.
yes.
Yeah, I saw that Albert was there.
Yes, our
he-
sweetheart.
Isn't he just? I went to his talk in London, and he was on the podcast earlier in the year, and he's such a sweet guy.
Yes.
Amazing.
He's so lovely. Yeah, I saw the picture that you took of the group of people that were there, and it was such a lovely group of humans, and that whole scene is very tight and kind of everyone's very close, and it's really lovely. I'm annoyed that I didn't make more effort to get there. I should have done.
You have to come next year.
Yes.
I was
And then
about
you
to say,
can book.
Dan.
You can book Sean Parry, and then he must come back too. That is really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, so you can get yours finished.
How about we do a Birka Tattoo Festival special next year, Dan, and then we both have it like an extra excuse to go.
Yay!
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
Of
we can
course.
do that.
Actually, you guys can come and you can make like special podcast with all the guests, because it will be just like endless subject for you guys.
Oh yeah.
Then we
Yeah.
can just record like 15 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
And
We
we
went-
have a little dream about different themes for next year. So we want to like include more about Viking boats,
Mhm.
and What more, Żaneta? More instrument, music.
Yes,
more
we
music.
dream about instrument builder, because this year nearly it was possible for few people to came and show the people how to build, for example, drums or other instruments. So if anybody is actually listening to us and is involved in building historical instruments, or just show how different instruments sound and how it was constructed.
Would Espen Winter, does he not build historical instruments? I think.
Okay, you can give us contact to this guy, and
probably we will meet him during during Midgårdsblod.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure. I need to follow up with Espen, so I was gonna actually get him on the.
Could be amazing.
I love how this has changed from us just asking questions about the festival to becoming like a legitimate exchange of ideas. Just like, oh, how?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chell Bratton would be a great one as well. I know I don't know if I think he probably builds his own, but also has a collection of. We can talk after the podcast.
Yes, we can take all the contacts. Let's do it.
I've spoken to enough people on this podcast now that I will have a list of endless names of people that could help you with all sorts of different things. Okay. Is there anything else you think we've missed before we wrap up, and then we'll just do a little Q&A after and see where we go. And the Q&A will probably be me just asking for tattoos whenever we meet up.
Actually, I think there is a one. Boy, but I can.
You first. You first.
So we are open for cooperations between different interesting people. So if anybody have idea to make some interesting workshop which is connected with Viking Age, or just like anything with material and non-material aspects of the early medieval life, so we are super open. So we can always send us email or message with some idea, and we are super open to have more attractions for our tattooers and for our participants. Also, we are open for maybe some newspapers or to make some vlog about the festival, because I think that I try to do my best to record the most, but if there will be some person who want to record it or just like release it as a YouTube vlog about our festival, it could be really, really cool to have it like so more, it's like super professional recording of everything which happened there.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, if you could have like a videographer kind of follow around and film some bits.
We had like extremely epic and the best photographers. We have Ruben.
Ruben Terillo.
Yes, and he did such an amazing reportage. We had Asta, which is like absolutely gorgeous and sweet person. She also did amazing job. Also, we had Cheyenne. She's working in a Viking museum in Stockholm, and also she's like super excellent photographer. So she did the reportage from last year and a little bit this year. And also Christopher, I hope I say good his surname, Eklund, who also did amazing pictures for us. And I hope I don't forget about anybody. Yeah.
Oh, imagine that Martina, who was on here a couple of weeks ago or a few weeks ago then. Imagine like the scenographic stuff she would record. She's a seamstress. She makes the reenactment outfits, and she does these really, really cool, like just short videos, but they're really beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah. So you Vagdotter, is it on?
Yeah, Vagdotter.
On Instagram. We will. Like I said, the first part of that.
We should just make like a shared document.
Yeah, I can give you loads of really cool names of people that could do talks or record cool Well, Mags, you could do a little talk on the textile. Look at your face.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
yes.
textiles of the Oseberg. Like it's the one thing I think I've built up over the time of doing this show is a really good catalog of people that do really awesome things. So we can talk, and I can definitely give you some names of really cool people that I think would work.
Yeah,
Nice.
Well.
Birka, it's to like gather and connect people. So
Mhm.
the more amazing, lovely people we like meet together, the better.
Yeah. We'll talk after. Veronica, was there anything that you wanted to add?
Yes, that we also take some volunteers. So if
Okay.
you want to like volunteer during these days and be a part of everything, you're also welcome to contact us. And then there is a different way to go here, and you can also stay. We have plastic camps for participants and visitors. We have Viking camps for
You get to stay
reenactment.
on the island?
Yes, on the island.
Oh, now
So
now
during
I'm
the
extra
day.
Look at
interested.
Dan. Dan
Yeah,
is so excited.
I am. Look at this little smile.
Yes. So there are a lot of like you can, if you are like in a Viking group or something, you can come with your Viking tent and Viking gear and be a part of it. We have a glamping, so you can rent
That
a
would be
glamping
mine.
tent.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And we also work together with another island close by. So next year we hope we have a lot of like bed and breakfast opportunities to
Ooh.
Okay.
stay on this close island.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, because I was
Wonderful.
wondering about like how the practical aspects of, since it is
Yes.
such a small island and it's not
Yeah.
necessarily the most easy to get to, and since the festival spans 3 days,
4 days.
4 days,
Yeah.
it's like
Wow.
how does that work practically?
So otherwise you stay on the island and you live. You are here for these 4 days, or you can go by boat, either from Stockholm, but it's quite expensive to go back and forward every day. But then we also have taxi boats that is driving people here from island close by. So
Mhm.
where you can go by car or by bus.
Oh, I love it. I love that you could. What's the phone signal like there?
It's good.
Oh,
It's
is
good.
it? I was gonna say it might
Yes.
be good to just like put everybody off and just
Oh
have
no,
like
Dan, it's Scandinavia. It's southern Scandinavia.
okay.
Yes.
No,
So I mean,
actually, when you came, we take your phone and you will be out of.
Yes.
You know what? That would be a good thing, though. I
No
think
problem.
we all could probably do with a little bit more of that because
Yeah.
we like you'll know as much as I do. Running a business online, you become tied to your phone. As much as I hate being on my phone a lot, I have to be because I have a business to run. I have social media to do. I have stock to check. Everything runs through this little device, and to be able to just put that down for 4 days would be amazing. I imagine I would get withdrawal from it.
Yeah.
We have the museum, how do you call it? Safe. So we can
Okay.
take your phone, just like lock it, and
Yes.
that's
In
it.
the safety
Yeah.
box.
Yeah. Okay.
That is
Maybe
a special requirement for the one participant, Daniel Farron.
I might be begging for it back after an hour.
And probably
Just-
we need to ask more people do it, because this year doing Tattoo Fest, there were so many people that was charging their cell phones in the museum, so the power went out. Suddenly it gets totally black, and we were like, what?
Oh my
And
God.
then we found out that there were like 20 cell phones in the same
Like circuit.
Oh, oh no. we can't live without our modern little vices, can we? All right. Where can people follow the festival? Where can they kind of check it out? What's the best place?
So the best place, it's I think the most active now, and maybe the most interesting to follow, it's Instagram, because it offers all those videos and pictures. So also the Insta stories. So I think our account is super active there. So now we are posting a lot of pictures and videos from the festival. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, and if you go to the information, you find the link where you can buy tickets. You can find more about accommodation, transport, also what will you eat on the island, because we have a restaurant and we have a cafeteria. So even if you don't bring food, you will eat like excellent local food based on local ingredients, which is like one of my favorite restaurants ever, with a beautiful view for the lake and excellent food.
Wow. Oh, nice.
Good
And
to
also
know.
we also have a plan to make more of cooking in a Viking village, because we have this beautiful small Viking village also at the water with the Viking boat harbor. So I hope that we can make more like food activities and maybe allow participants to cook more, or maybe we make some contest, because last time we was our team was in Lithuania and there was such a great contest. Like everybody from each camp was cooking something nice based on the historical ingredients, and it was really, really amazing. People just like did such a lovely dishes. Yes,
I know just the person to hook you up with for that as well. So Jonas Lorentzen used to be a chef in London.
Did he really?
Yeah, he did.
I didn't know that.
He was a chef. He used to be in Heilung. He's in Nabala now, does music, but he used to be a chef, and he would be perfect for. He could cook maybe like a goat underground and
yes,
feed everybody. He's done that kind of stuff all over. He's done it in India, and I think I know that he's done one in. I think he did one at the Fire in the Mountains festival as well, where they slaughtered a cow, I think it was, and then he just cooked for like for the festival, and just like they did it, and it was like a whole thing. So he would be perfect for something like that, where you could just have a communal.
He's more than welcome.
Yeah. So
Yes.
We will have a lot of people to feed next year. Like this year, our chef cook like 100 kilo of the food for our small Friday party in a Viking village. So it was like, I don't know, how many people on the party, like more than 200 people, right?
Yes, I think it was like 230 or something.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And he cooked everything like over the open fire. Yeah, it was amazing. And it was so nice party. Oh,
actually,
that seems amazing.
We think that it was the first party since Birka like didn't exist anymore after 250 years of being such a amazing trade center. So probably there wasn't such a big party since that time, like in this year.
No,
probably,
and the nice thing also that we have like participants from 21 different countries.
Yeah.
And like Birka was like a place for different culture and religions and people from all over the then known world. And now we do it again. Like,
oh, nice.
We invite people from all over, and it is, yeah, it's so nice.
And also
very authentic then.
Yes, it is.
Also, we want to make those bridges because we have like a lot of friends who are just like you guys are involved in history, archaeology, which are working in different museums. So also we want to build the bridges between the past and the future, or in a like between the modern times. So this year, for example, we had guests from Lithuania. And that's our people which have a group who is making like very amazing festival in Kernave. I was actually friend from island near Birka, and we was also on this festival. And I also did the Baltic tattoo camp there. So we bring those people to Birka because Birka also had in the past connections with the Baltic tribes, and there are the foundings from that region also in Birka. So Birka, it's a birch island. So there was a man who is an expert in making, his name is Vitautas. He's an expert in making birch boxes, for example, or master who was making amber pendants or amber items. So we want to have this also bridges and contacts, which was in the past, but also we want to maintain them now and in the future.
Perfect.
So actually, Veronica had this great idea to cooperate also between the museums, because this is also very fascinating. So this festival, it's not only about the tattoos, but I think it's we merge everything we know the best and everything we saw the best in our lives, and everything we know, we want to share and spread and connect, because it's so many different levels you can connect the people and develop the knowledge and educate the people. Just like Veronica said before tattoos didn't have that good opinion. And especially in Sweden, we found that still till now, there's not much historical tattooers. This field wasn't developed yet. Actually, maybe to the time when we decide to make the first festival. So we are super happy that we can change something in opinion about the tattoos in general and historical tattoos also. Oh, who's that?
This is
hey,
Rocco. This is Rocco. He wanted to come say hello. Perfect. Let's wrap this up, and then we'll do a little bit of an extra bonus one. But we've gone quite long today anyway, so I won't keep you too much longer. And
it was just too much fun hearing about all the different things.
Yeah. So the Instagram is just Birka Historical Tattoo.
Yes, the Birka Historical Tattoo
Festival. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
No, not festival.
Fest. Yes.
Thank you. Okay, Mags, where can people find you?
Instagram, ArcheoMags, Archeo with a K.
Perfect. And then for me, it's Daniel_Farron1 or at Horns of Odin, and then the podcast is just Nordic Mythology podcast across the board, whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, where you get to see our lovely faces if you want. And don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the little bell button.